Hey, Kelly, thank you for coming by. How are you? Hopefully, you're good. How's everything? You're in Clearwater, right? I think. I know I've seen you here, but I think you live in Clearwater. Am I right or wrong? Maybe she went away. Anyway, my name is Tori Chrisman. My YouTube site is Tori Magoo 44. Hi, Lapisha. And I was in Scientology for 30 years and escaped out in 2000. What you were talking before the stream started. Who you were talking? I was just asking you if you live in Clearwater or here. Kelly. Hey, JB808. Oh my goodness. Hi. How are you? All right, now I have to pause this for 1 minute. So hang on, you guys talk to each other and I will be right back. Damn it. All right. Hang on. Oh, the endless Tory falling in a room. All right, hang on. Okay. Okay. All right. There you go. Okay. All right. I'm almost there. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right. I'm here and you got to hear me fall. Hi, you guys. Ooh, I need help with something. Could I email you? Sure. Kelly, yeah. It's better to call me, but you can email me. I'm all right, Eric. Thank you for asking. I'm a famous knucklehead when it comes to tripping. And that was one of my big things I learned on OT7 was how to fall and tumble. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. You can see me. Yeah, I just tripped over on something. I do it all the time. I mean, I don't do it all the time, but it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. That's why I always say if my life was on YouTube, it would be hysterical because it's hi Valerie. But yes, I'm definitely okay. I thought you knelt down looking for something. No, I wanted to get JB808 sent me some really nice stuff. And I wanted to show him. Came in this. This is one. And he bought me these really cool cords. They're super fast. So there's that. And then he also bought me this. A jitterbug phone. which will really help when I'm protesting. Anyway, it'll just help. It'll be cool. I'm looking forward to it. So I wanted to get it and show it to you, JB08, and thank you so much. It's very kind of you to get that. It really was. Thank you. It means a lot to me. So here we are. And you got to see me fall. It's not really a fall. It's just like a trip, but it's one of my many things. The other thing I do at my house that I think if I had a video of this every time I leave, I have to go back in. I always forget something. It's either my phone or my water or something. So I'll go out and I'll come back in. And I thought my neighbors must think I'm insane. JB808, you mean a lot to us. Thank you. That's very kind of you. It's very kind of you to send that to me also. I really appreciate it. And your message. It was really neat. So thank you. He is always supportive. He's an amazing person. So all of you are. I'm really happy you're all here. I know, it's nice, Eric. It really is. Well, thank you, JB808, for being such a cool guy. Isn't it neat, though, this phone? I can't wait to... I have to, like, kind of get it going, but it looks really cool. I like it. And I loved your message. Your message was super cool, too. Can I read it? He said, a gift to you. Hey, Tori, you already know I think the world of you. Thank you so much for all your years of activism. I always look forward to when you go live. Much love and respect, JB808. Aw, that's so nice. It means so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. The message is wonderful, too. Very thoughtful. And Brandon says, hey, Miss Tori, I've been telling my family about you, and I sent your live to my dad, and I also sent my dad at Aaron's lives so he can learn as much as I have. Very smart. Good idea. And that'll bring you guys closer. And hello to your dad if he's watching, or when he does. And to Eric's mom, too. I hope she's okay. She was going to have surgery, but now she's not. So hopefully she's better. So that's good. Good group of people. So anyway, someone called me today who's being bullied on the internet, not by Scientology, by just internet bullies. But she was kind of freaked out. I mean, she was really freaked out. And so I just gave her some tips that I've used with Scientology, because that's what they do. They have a thing called fair game, Hubbard wrote, which said you can lie, cheat, steal, destroy someone utterly. So, you know, when I first escaped out in 2000, I'd been in for 30 years. I know too much bullying goes on. I know. So I'm just going to give you my little tips on it. And if you have any to add, throw them in. But I told her, you know, the first thing, I didn't realize it. I didn't even believe they did fair game. I really didn't. That's how brainwashed I was. And I came home and they had broken one leg off one of my ceramic turtles on my front porch. And I thought, that's odd. And then a week later, they broke off another one. And I thought, it doesn't seem like a gang. That seems like Scientology. And so I called one of my friends. Actually, I called Spanky, who was in the car last night. And she said, nah, it's not OSA. You know, you're just getting too paranoid. So I called Jesse Prince, who I knew worked with David Miscavige way up in the church. And I said, what happened? And he said, okay, listen to me carefully. This is absolutely the Church of Scientology. It's called psychological warfare, and they're trying to drive you insane. So the best thing to do is just step away from the stove. And I had that little sticker on my computer for years, because it was only 4 people that were speaking out when I left. I mean, a lot of people were speaking out, but they weren't saying their name. But there were about 4 or 5 people where we said our names, and they were really picking on us a lot. And so I did a couple things that really helped. One, and I think this would help even if you're around bullies. I went down to my police department and I said, look, I explained what fair game is. Now wait, what did Eric said something? You talked about that with me with bullies on the phone. You told me to step away from the stove. Yeah, exactly. But these are a couple other things that if you really are getting bullied that you can do. I went down to the police department, introduced myself, and I said, I want to talk to one policeman. I don't want to talk to you, the receptionist, and I don't want to talk to just anybody. I want a specific person that I can talk to each time. So they brought out one of the sergeants, and I explained Scientology, a cult, me escaping out, and fair game. And I said, it's a lot like gaslighting. So it doesn't sound like much. It's just stupid stuff. But I want a record of how many times they do it, what they're doing, and when they're doing it. Hey, Sophie. And so I started every time they would do something, I would send it into the police department to that sergeant. And I think it was like 3 years after I'd been out. And they've been pounding me the whole time. And they put my name up on a porn site. And I was able to call that sergeant, and he came right over, and we made a police report on it. And boom, that was it. Because the guy named Truth Seeker had been writing lies about me for 3 years. And he looked at all the lies and saw them and saw that, he's totally bullying you. And I said, yeah. And that address to that guy is the exact same address as For a Good Time Called Tori, which was their bullshit thing they put up on a porn site. So he made a police report on it. And I was like, wow. And I asked my friends, before I called the police, I asked my friends, what should I do? And they said, they're computer guys. And they said, call the police. It's a federal crime. And so I did. That's what got me to call the police. The guy made the police report. We put it up on ARS, on Google, he told me all these different places to put it, the FBI, wherever. It was all over the place. And that guy vanished forever. They have a new Truth Seeker that's out, but he's not spreading lies like this guy was. This guy was, I'm sure, paid for by OSA, because I had like 3 different people who were being paid by OSA. And they were on me all day, all night, just posting lies. And I'd never met any of them. It was so weird. One was a lady who worked in a library, Diane Richardson, and she hated me. I have no idea why. And the other one was kind of a homeless lady that we tracked down. And she was getting paid, Barbara Schwartz, because she's in my 25-step program to muzzle Tori. That's on the internet. You can Google that. And Barbara Schwartz is on about the 3rd page or something, where it's like, get Barbara Schwartz on Tori. Anyway, but it helped making those reports to the police. So that was one thing that I did. And hey to everybody else that's on here. Hi, alligators. Everyone's saying hi to Sophie. That's cool. And the second thing I did was I brought in my community, because you have neighbors and, I don't know much about cars, and they were picking on my car all the time. They flattened my tires. They just did different things to my car. And so one day I went down to Pep Boys, and I, again, got one guy, and I explained Scientology, called escaping out, fair game, like gaslighting. He said, okay, I get the picture. And he said, if something happens, bring it over, bring your car over. So I said, okay. So I'm working, and I get out in my car, and there's my rearview mirror painted half pink, and it falls off while I'm driving. And I think, okay, that's it. And I honestly wasn't sure. I thought maybe it's a gang, maybe it's Scientology. So I go over to Pep Boys. I got that guy, brought him out, and I said, okay, somebody sprayed my rearview mirror half pink, and now it's fallen off. And he goes, well, let me look inside the car. And he opens the door, and I've told you guys this before, but it still blows my mind. He opens the door, looks in, shuts the door, and goes, it's the Church of Scientology. And I'm like, how do you know that? And he goes, well, a gang, you have a really good radio. So a gang would steal your radio. And you have a bunch of bags in the back seat. They would take those as well as a lot of other stuff. So it wasn't a gang. It's definitely the Church of Scientology. But that kind of thing helped me. Like I told my neighbor who was an ex-Jehovah's Witness. And so he and I would compare notes. And I'd say, look, if anybody comes around my house and they're weird, come let me know. So one day I wake up and there's a huge stack of papers on my dining room table. And Tony Ortega had done an article on Andreas and I called Sympathy for the Devil, which is online. You can Google that too if you want. And it's a good article. And anyway, there's they copied off the 3 pages of that, they wanted everybody to see, and put it on every single doorstep on my block, including apartments and everything. And this guy, the ex-Jehovah's Witness, and his girlfriend went around and picked up every single one. And that was pretty cool. It really was. So those are things that's the importance of bringing in other people. Because just like this lady today, she was very scared. And the other thing I said is, take some kind of I forget the name of it, and maybe one of you will know, but it's some kind of it's like Tai Chi, but it's defense. It's like it's mostly, I think it's mostly women. I know it's very eerie, Lupicia, but I've made it through it. I'm 77 and I'm still here. You failed. Oh, it's an epic fail. Epic fail. And I'm so happy all of you are here. Is it Kung Fu? I don't think Kung Fu is, it's some kind of defense thing where there's it's not like you're hitting people or crashing into them. And it's pretty gentle from what I understand. But anyway, I told her to find out what it was and join one of those, because it would help her to be around other women who were also, kind of afraid. And she'll get stronger. And a lot of it is mental also. It's not karate. Yeah, I think it is Tai Chi. I think it is. But anyway, you have to look it up and find out. But it's one of those. And I told her to just, look on the internet and find out which one it is. And join the class. It'll help her to get out, because she said, I haven't left in 2 months. I said, you've really got, they've really got you, and you got to get out. And the other thing I did, this was really funny, because around the time when Anonymous showed up, a bunch of white trucks were on my street, and they were someone in Anonymous was positive that Osa was watching me, right? And again, I'm like, I'll handle this. This happened the first day I came back to Burbank, and I went out to eat. And again, I've probably told this to most people, but if somebody didn't hear it, it's a good story. Went out to eat, and I knew Osa sent people to sit next to critics or ex-Scientologists and hear what they're saying, right? And so when we sit down, we were at Bob's Big Boy. We sit down, and this other guy sits right next to us, and just a 2-seater. And I think, okay, so. And then I thought, Tori, you can't live your life like this. You can't do it. You're gonna go crazy. So I said, excuse me, I got to handle something. And I got up and I went over to him and I said, can I ask you a personal question? And he goes, yeah, sure. What's up? And I said, are you a Scientologist? And he goes, God, no. Do I look like one? It was really funny. It was really, really funny. But anyway, that started me doing that with anybody. If I thought they were Scientology, I'd just walk up and ask them. Are you a Scientologist? Are you connected to L. Ron Hubbard, Wise, any kind of science, anything based on Hubbard? And 100% of the time people said no. And, it wasn't like they were lying. You can kind of tell. I know from knowing Scientologists, if it was them, it wasn't. So anyway, that was cool. Jiu-jitsu. I think that's it. I think that is it. Thank you. I think that's it. I'll look it up. But I think you're right. I think it might be jiu-jitsu. I'm going to write it down. Jiu-jitsu. Thank you, Rib Guy. And hello. Mai Tai, I can't spell it. Mai Tai. Now that's a drink. And Mary James, listening in, always interesting. Thank you. I'm glad. So I hope that helps some of you. I mean, those are just a few of the things that I did, but mostly I talked to her about, not buying into don't let them pound you. You know what I mean? Like Jesse Singh, step away from the stove. Like Bill Yachty, who ran the little program that I did to help get him on the internet so he could write. I thought he was helping. Turned out he was stopping free speech. And once I found that out, I left Scientology forever. But now I forgot what I was going to tell you. Anyway, what was it? I forget. It was something about Black PR and fair game. Comment, Precious Tori, even if you would repeat the same story over and over, you never tell them the same way, and they are always interesting. Thank you so much, Alligator. I appreciate that. I really do, because I think, oh, God, I am telling the same story over and over. But thank you. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. Sophie, Tori, you were talking about Bill and the internet. I know. I just can't remember what I was telling you about Bill and the internet. It was something specific about, I know, I can't remember it. It came and it went. That's how it goes. And like DOA said, if somebody remembers a word, then I'm back. But it has to be exactly, it's like right. That's what I do when I give speeches. I say someone has to totally pay attention to what I'm talking about, because I get off on these limbs and then I can't remember it. You have too many things that you have to do. So if you're the moderator and this and that, you're busy. But I always get one person. That's all they're supposed to do is listen. And then they can just say, Lake Forest. And I'm like, okay, I got it. That's it. No, don't skip back. Don't worry about it, Sophie. It's not a big deal. It's not. Don't worry about it. Margie Dotes, hi. I like to hear the stories over too. Hey, that's one thing. If I die, I won't have a grave because I'm going to be cremated. But if I did have a grave, they could say she told she and her grandfather told their stories over and over and over. Because my grandfather was the same way. He would tell these stories over and over, and they're still in our heads. And you know what? I told you, he grew up in North Dakota, I think. And he was a hunter and a fisherman, and, he ended up being a doctor, but he would tell us that, oh yeah, we were waiting outside for the bus, and a wolf came and ate our teacher. Which is funny now, because my son told me, he said, Mom, wolves don't eat people. They don't, but I didn't know that. We were city kids, and we were like, really? Your teacher got eaten up? And he was really good at telling stories too. So it was like, oh my God. You were talking about not letting them get to you. Stepping away from the stove. Yeah. I can tell my dad's stories more accurately than he can. I have heard them so many times. It's probably like all of you guys. You go, wait a minute. Tori story about, we'll tell it. Alligators. I always say when I forget what I'm saying, if it's important, I'll remember. Yeah, mine's a little different because I have the thing from having the seizures and taking Scientology took me off my medicine. So for about 6 months, I had grand mal seizures all the time. It was awful, and they would find me, and this is how bad my grand mal seizures were. Once I'd come out of them, nothing. I couldn't remember anything. Like if I looked at this computer, this laptop, I wouldn't see, oh, it's a laptop, a light, a wall, a home, nothing. It would just be like, shh. And you'd hear these people going, you're not being responsible enough, Tori. And they wonder why I left. Are you kidding me? Oh, talk about a nightmare on Elm Street. Anyway, JB808, I grew up in Illinois. That's where I grew up, in Chicago. Were you in Chicago? My mom used to take me to Highland Park in Lake Forest so I can practice driving when I had my permit. I lived in Park Ridge. That's where I grew up. And then Lake Forest. We moved to Lake Forest. I didn't like Lake Forest, but I love Park Ridge. To this day, I do. I'm late. No, you're never late here. This doesn't have a late. It's like you hear people say your money's no good here. No, that's the same with this on being late. You're never late. You're never late. You can see it tomorrow and make some comments. That's it. I'm just happy to share the things that I can. You always look amazing for 77. Thank you, RJ Costman. Nice. And hi, Bridge. I didn't see you pop in. Wow. You've been to Park Ridge? All right. Very nice. And I like the tall trees. Me too. I love Park Ridge. It was so much fun to grow up in. It really was. It was just a blast. I mean, it's safe. We would leave at we'd have breakfast and then we'd leave. And we'd be out all day partying. And we had to come home for lunch. So we'd come home for lunch, eat lunch, and then we'd be back out goofing around again. And I was always with my brothers and his friends and a couple of my friends. Hit the like button and please support your streamers. Thank you. Nice, Rib Guy. Good. Alligators. Me, I have really bad memory because of narcolepsy. Right. If I lose consciousness, I'm lost when I wake up. Plus, I have terrible ADHD. Yeah. I think that's probably how I was. That's why I take medicine, so I don't have seizures. I haven't had a seizure in 30 years. But when I did, it really, was bad. It was. And I asked my neurologist recently about it because it was worrying me before DOA said that thing about the one word. And he said, Tori, everybody in this office has trouble with memory. Anybody who's had seizures in any way has trouble with memory. It directly affects it. So thank you, Scientology. Way to go. If you wonder why I keep speaking out, that's why. That's number one. Number two is you breaking up families. Number three is you stopping free speech. Medical abuse is really number one for me. But ripping people off, that's another one. And roping in young kids to billion-year contracts, which I don't think they do too much anymore, but I hope not. And if you are younger and you're trapped in there, get out. It's like they don't own you. You might think they do because they act like they do, but they don't. And just, go, you know what? I'm done. And walk out. And if you don't have anywhere to go, call me. And I will come get you. PLTP. Rib Guy, I'm not sure what that means. That's what she said. Oh, that's what she said. That's good. Hi, that's what she said. Better late than never. It is. It really is. Oh, yeah, Sophie, you didn't see this. JB808 sent me this cool phone. This will be like my second phone for when I protest. I can use it. And got all these goodies yesterday. These, which are like really fast cords. So thank you, JB808, again for sending those to me. And everybody else. A lot of you guys have sent me things, and I really appreciate it. I was saying hi to Power Lies. Oh, Power Lies to Paralyze is here? Let me look. I don't see it. Ooh. One of these days, I'll learn how to use the Power Lies to Paralyze. God, I don't see that at all. Rib Guy, Antics of a Mama Squirrel. Hi. Good to see you. I missed you. Mary James said you're listening. That's right. I think everybody else I got. Thank you, Mary Doze, for your suggestions. Dawn Gloves. Ooh, RN and an SP. Now, there you go. See, I'm SP and CIA. But RN is pretty cool. Yeah, precious Sophie. She is precious. All right, I don't see him, but I believe you. He's here. Gator. I can't believe you grew up in Illinois, JB808. Wow. No wonder. And now you're in Hawaii, right? Don't you live in Hawaii? I think. Forgive me if I have it wrong. But tell me. I've been to Park Ridge. Oh, God. We should go there sometime. That'd be fun. Oh, there you go. Power Lies to Paralyze. Saying hi to Rib Guy. There you go. Nice. Well, welcome all of you. Rib Guy, welcome 808. Can you see this comment, Tori? I can. Power Lies to Paralyze. I can see it. Why? Did you think I can't? Because you've been in my chat for a while. And never look back. Bingo. We moved to Hawaii in 2013. Wow. And never looked back. Oh, 2013. Wow, that's a while. You're lucky. You're lucky you're there. I mean, that is wonderful. Is it expensive to live there, JB? I think it is. From everything I've heard, Hawaii is more expensive than LA. But you tell me. Sophie, Alligator says, I used to it. I was 18 months old when they started, meds to sleep, but doesn't work. I'm up 48 to 72 before getting 3 to 5 hours sleep. Honestly, have you tried the different medicines, gone to a different doctor? Because that sounds awful. That doesn't sound fair, alligators. It doesn't. Tori has great hair. I wish I had her genes. Thank you. That's what she sold. That's what she said. Yeah, that's for my mom. I always give her credit because it was from her. JB808, I really want to go to Hawaii. Me too. Let's go together. That would be great. We could all meet there. He's like, no, don't come. I live a very frugal life. I think a lot of us do. I like living a frugal life, except I trip sometimes. Sophie, can we switch? Oh, yeah, you come to Hawaii and I go to New Zealand. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good too. I knew he didn't want both of us. Alligator, hard on my body. That is very hard on your body. I would really check other doctors again because medicine has evolved in the last 10 years. It's really evolved in many, many areas. So it might be in your area. Sophie, islands are always expensive as so much is imported. It's expensive down here. Yeah. And she would love that JB808. So you guys can switch. That would be good. Did you ever see The Holiday? Where they just switch lives for 6 months? I don't know if it was 6 months, but it was a bunch of time for a while. They switched lives. It's very fun. Very fun. It's a great movie. Okay, JB808 says BC, British Columbia. I think Vancouver may be more expensive than Hawaii from what I've heard, or maybe the same. Okay. Yep, British Columbia, it is expensive here for sure. Kelly, I didn't know you lived in British Columbia. Wow. My body gets hyper if I take sleeping meds. I don't get REM sleep at all. Yeah, I don't think I get REM sleep either, but I don't care. I don't want to dream. I don't. I stopped dreaming in the 70s. Yeah, I made a decision. That's it. I'm not dreaming. And I might dream, but I don't remember them. I don't, because I would always have these crummy dreams. And I just thought, what's the point of, going to sleep and then you wake up and you're like all, whatever. I always had they were sort of boring dreams about this cramming officer at Celebrity Center who ended up living here for 7 years. He was a dear friend of mine. But at the time, he scared me to death. I was a young kid and he was the cramming officer. And so I would have these dreams about him every night. And I would say to my husband, I had another dream about John. And they were always like, just, I'm going down a street and I'm looking at all these things. And at the end was John. That was like every dream. I'm going here and I'm doing this. I'm on a boat and there's John. It was just like, and I know I was frightened of him. I really was at the time, which was really stupid because he was super nice. But he did have an ethics presence, as we used to say. He did. John Dries. Okay, comment. Okay, I already read that. Thank you, Alligator. Okay, all right. Thank you, Marzi Doze. Thank you, Sophie. Oh yeah, Ribka, you can tell your dad's stories. That's funny. Okay, now I went back because I thought I lost something. Okay. Narcolepsy. That's an amazing one. It really is. I would definitely check. The other thing is check universities because like one of my friends has MS and another friend's wife got MS. Now the one did nothing and she's, going through her stuff. The other one went out to UCLA and joined their MS group. And then it's a USC and UCLA. She joined both of theirs. And she's like a different person. I mean, it was really amazing. It really helped her because they have all the cutting edge stuff. And I would really check out any universities, even if you have to fly. There's places where there's specialists in narcolepsy, and find out where the best one is, and fly there, and let them check you out because that's not I don't think you shouldn't have to suffer your whole life. I just don't think so. That sounds really hard. I agree with Sophie. That's really hard. I know, JB808. That is so kind. It is. All right. The power lies to paralyze. So you saw that I can see that. He's here, Tori, just above me. I see him now. Move to Hawaii. Wow. I should do that. Sophie, I probably moved to that place where my brother is, though, Koh Phangan, off of Thailand, because I don't think it's as expensive at all. And that's where he loves it. Alligator says, Sophie, I'm used to it. Oh yeah, I see. We read that. Okay. Thank you. All right, so I'm behind. Ooh. All right. So Sophie says, question, Tori, many people think that OSA doesn't work like they used to. Like they don't do fair game, but wondering what you think. Type in my name and Google and go to their site and see their lies that they have written up about me. That's fair game. So that's tonight. You can Google it and type in my name, Tori Chrisman, and you'll find it. And they definitely are doing fair game. They've I'm not going to get into it, but they are doing fair game. It's just selective. They don't have as many people as they used to have, so they can't do as much as they used to do, but they're still doing it. I know you are, Osa, and it's an epic fail. I mean, see, that's a perfect example of bullying. I wanted to mention that as far as Phil Jones came, invited me to lunch. We went to lunch. He said, hey, I put up a billboard, for Sea Org to leave because his two kids are in the Sea Org. And I said, fantastic. Let's go see it. So we drove over there. And by the time we went from Burbank to right around AOLA, it's across from AOLA at Big Blue, which is about 15 minutes. They already had a big, giant blue crane up there, which he has pictures of it now. But, within 24 hours or 48, they'd paid the company or done something where the company took down the whole billboard. But that's my point, Scientology. Bullies, they never win, never. And just like that, okay, you took down one and now you have 20 up. Take down 20, you're going to have 50 up. It's like you're not doing the right thing. If you did the right thing, you would have much less stuff to handle, but you're not doing the right thing. And every time you do the wrong thing, this is what happens, just like bullies. That's what she said. That's what she said, me too, one day. Thank you, Kelly, will do. Hi, Kelly. Kelly Atkinson. Hi. I have remembered one dream in the last 30 years. I'm the same, Rib Guy. I mean, that's how I am. It's like one or two dreams. That's it. And that's enough. It's like, I don't know. I have friends that they dream every night and they've got to tell you about their dreams. And it's like, it just seems like such a waste of time. To me, it's like, go to sleep, get some rest. Angel. Hi, Tori. Hi, Angel. Never in Aaron. Tori, Sophie. TWSS, PLTP, and Rib Guy. I don't know what those other ones are. TWSS and P. I bet you PL is the psych one. I bet it is. PL. Shoot. So hard for me to find things. PLPP. Power lies to paralyze. So that's what that is. Power lies to paralyze, I think. I think that's what it is. Let me get back here and check it out. Power lies to paralyze. Yeah, power lies to paralyze. Okay, so then the TWSS, I'll find it. But anyway, you're saying hi to him. Never in Aaron. Hi, Mark. Welcome. If you guys missed the billboard yesterday, check it out. We drove around and filmed, but we didn't get a bunch, but we got, I think, 5 of the billboards. But it was kind of fun. We had a good time. They definitely jump out. They're really cool. And Laura FM and Dan Walks LA also have videos. They did the first night, and theirs are probably better because they got out and took pictures of them and stuff like that. JB808 Sophie, I'm house sitting for my Annie parents right now. In the guest room, there's framed pictures of New Zealand map. With a cool college of different places they traveled. The first person I thought of was you. That's so sweet. Very sweet. Never in Aaron, hi there. I had a dream that I was eating a big marshmallow. Then when I woke up, my pillow was gone. See, that's what I mean about dreams. It's like, really? No, I'm sleeping. That's what I'm doing. JB808, that's cool. I live in Auckland, near the top of north of the North Island. Okay, good to know. It's cheap to live in Thailand. Oh, good. Yeah. So I'd probably go there. Although I can't say as my brother went, yeah, come on over. And we're close. But I think what it is, he's got other stuff going on. And so that's all there is to it. Alligators, my friend was on medication for narcolepsy. It was GHB. IDK. She no longer takes it because of its side effects. Yeah. JB808. Sophie, they've been there. They have a magnet-looking strip of Auckland on the picture. Aw, that's cool. A buddy is in Thailand on vacation right now. He is killing me with pictures of food, people, and climate. I know, Rip Guy. My brother sends me videos all the time, and he's a DJ, so he's doing these concerts, and a bunch of his friends from Israel moved down there because the mother of their child is Israeli, and so they found out they were on this island. A bunch of them are there, so he just has this huge party all the time. It's really funny, but that's been his whole life. Kind of, he's been a party animal. Alligators, you're so sweet, Tori, but I don't have the money to go to the doctor shopping. But that's why I'm saying universities, because that doesn't cost money. I'm trying to figure out how to get the DSG shot. That would help me so much. How much is the DSG shot? How much is that, alligators? The story you told about a Scientologist pushing you down the stairs in Ireland was horrifying. I know. That was another fair game thing they did, where all I did was, the guy was outside for anybody that didn't hear it, and they had like a sandwich board thing like this, and it said everyone's welcome on one side and come on in. And this guy, and I said, I was with Pete Griffith and John McGee, and I said, let's go see the Scientology mission. So we go over there, see the sign, and I walk up to the guy and I say, hey, how you doing? And he goes, it's not for everyone. And I said, it's not for everyone? I used to work in Div 6, which is where you get people in. And that's the worst thing you could say to someone. And he goes, well, it isn't. And I said, okay, that is completely out tech. Just like that to him. And he runs inside. And Anonymous goes, she shut him down in 1 minute. So I went inside because I wanted to talk to him. I was like, what the hell happened? And they had these super steep stairs. I mean, they were almost like straight up. And so I went up some of the stairs, thankfully not to the top. And there were 2 other Scientologists at the top. And I said, what are you guys doing? It's not for everyone? When did that start? And this guy comes flying around the corner and just shoves me down the stairs. And I literally just went flying. And had John McGee not caught me, I would have been either dead or paralyzed for life. One or the other, no question. And everybody who saw it agreed. It's like, well, I mean, I don't know what the guy was thinking. He would have been in prison for sure, I think. But anyway, it was pretty scary. But that happened. What are some of the tactics that Scientology uses to bully people? Well, now they're pretty much ignoring people, right? So that's their big bullying thing, is that because they're too afraid of people talking to people, because they used to come out and talk to us when we would protest. But now they're not really doing that. But online, they write a bunch of lies about any exes that leave. They have pages of lies about them. And, like you can look up on, just search Tori Chrisman, 25-step program by Scientology. Just search that. And it's a 25-step program to muzzle Tori. That's the goal. And it really shows you some of the shit that they do. But I mean, in my house alone, they flattened my tires. They broke into my house. And I know it wasn't OSA because my husband wouldn't let OSA in. But I'm sure it was Bill Yachty who was acting as OSA. And because I knew it wasn't my husband because he didn't know how to turn on a computer. And the whole computer was stripped of all my Scientology stuff. All my videos were stripped. These things I've told you so far are all fair game. They bully people, just like the taking down the sign that Phil put up and the aftermath. They paid somebody to take it down. They paid the company or threatened them or whatever, and there you go. I mean, they've been doing this forever with just bullying, creepy stuff. And the ironic thing is they never learn. They never, ever learn that is never going to help them. And you can go look in their orgs. I don't have to convince you. Go look in their orgs. I tell people all the time, they go, oh, they're really expanding. And I go, really? That's based on what? And they go, well, look at all the buildings they own. And I go, and have you ever looked in the buildings? And they go, no. And I go, okay, here's how many people are in the buildings. And when I was in the 90s, 80s, and 70s, there were hundreds of people. I mean, it was flourishing. So how good is their fair game? Not that good. It isn't. It's not working. Okay. Oh, that's what she said is TWSS. Okay, that's good to know. Some little, just like your name, but easier. That's good. Thank you. Thank you for telling me that. JB808, I've fallen asleep to watching anti-Scientology streamers, and I can hear the streams in my dream. Wow. But I'm physically there too. Wow. Well, I guess you do. Oh, because JB808, you dream. It was Ribka. This is he doesn't. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, alligators. I like your dreams. Yeah, that's good. That is good. It's happened one too many times. I believe that. I do. I really do. All right. Rib Guy says, Sophie, I would think yes, but at the same time, do they have the personnel to do it? So I'm stuck on that question. They don't have the personnel to do it. That's the answer. A, they don't have the personnel, and B, they don't want people to talk to any of the critics or ex-Scientologists because too many of us, woke up and left. So that's their solution. Don't have them talk to anybody, and they're selling communication. So it's very ironic, but that's the way it is. Thank God for John McGee. I know. We need you, Tori. Thank you, JB808. Every day I thank him. I really do. And you guys too, because it's like I'm really blessed with some wonderful people in my life. And I have all through my life. I mean, but see, I open up to people, as you know. So like when I first left, I'd run into people and they'd say, well, what do you do? And I'd say, I don't know. I just escaped out of a cult I was in for 30 years. And they'd go, really? And the first person was Stacy Brooks's cleaning lady. The first day out. And Scientology has a thing called PTS, which means you're connected to a suppressive person. And PTS people, they say, Hubbard said, go up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. So Stacy's, I slept for the night and then I come downstairs and she said, would you like some advice? And I said, anything, because I was like out on a limb all by myself. I mean, I was there with Stacy, Bob, and Jesse, but it was like, and Mark, but it was kind of like all the people that I knew and all the stuff that I believed in was gone. So I said, yeah, anything. And she said, okay, well, just so you know, and this is a good thing for all of you too, because a lot of us do it where you might be up, you might be down, you might be up. And she said, you are going to, because of the amount of stuff that you've gone through in the last 24 hours, you have to know that you are going to go up and down and up and down and up and down. But I want you to never forget something. While you're going up and down and up and down and up and down, you are circularly going up. And you're going in and out and up and down inside of that circular. Isn't that cool? It really helped me so much. I can't tell you. It helped me a ton, because it just was so true. And anyway, so that's my thing, is to kind of let people help me, because I help a lot of other people, but then I let them help me too. Now they call the police. Yeah, they've always done that where they call the police, but I stay out of that kind of stuff. So they don't call the police on me, because they have to have a reason for that. And you have to do shit that, they can say, well, we're calling the police. They've said to me, like I went one time, the HGB is where all the execs used to be. And I was really ticked off because at the back of my SP Declare, it says, her only terminal, meaning a person, is the International Justice Chief via the Continental Justice Chief, Flag Land-Based Justice Chief for the Church of Scientology Flag Service Organization, approved by the International Justice Chief. So there's that. It's right, that, well, it's hard to see because that line. But anyway, it's there. So PTS is a really bad thing, where you're going up and down and up and down. But she made it where it was like, okay, you're inside, but you're going up all the time. And that actually, it was true for me. It really was. But the police, that's another thing where they do call the police. And they like, oh, that's what I was telling you about the HGB. So I brought my SP Declare because it says her only terminal is the IJC. And they mean that explicitly. I mean, nobody will talk to me. So I'm there with my SP Declare. I sit on the edge of the HGB and I'm sitting there and they go, Tori, get up. And I go, I'm sorry. My only terminal is the IJC via the Continental Justice Chief. So bring one of them down. I know they work here. And that's it. And I just stayed forever. And they finally, they got really ticked off and they said, okay, that's it. We are going to call the police. And I said, all right, don't waste the police time. And at that point I got up, but I had a lot of fun with it. That's my thing. It's like, have fun. You stream too, Rib Guy? How do I find you on YouTube? Good question. I don't know how to find him either. I don't think. Maybe I do. I pulled all my streams down. Oh yeah, you told me that. Put them back up. Come on, come back. We need you. Security, basically. Oh, that's right. I remember. He has a reason. Sometimes people have reasons and we have to respect them. Sophie, Scientology has become a lot more insular. Yeah, pretty much. They don't have, first of all, first of all, it used to be the triangle like this, right? And all of this brought in new public. That's gone. Miscavige got rid of all of that. So how stupid is that? Those are the people that bring people in. Now, granted, at the top, I get what's happening with him. These guys have the money. And he just figured, who needs these stupid people? They only pay $40, for a beginning course. Let's get rid of them. But they're the guys that eventually move up the bridge to total freedom and pay for the top stuff. So it was very stupid, Miscavige, very stupid. But anyway, that's what happened. So now, yeah, they are more insular because they don't want people coming out to talk to us. God forbid. They might wake up. Now you think about it, if Scientology really worked, why would they give a shit? If it really works, who cares? Let them talk to those people. That's Tori. Okay, she was on OT7. Big deal. What's she going to tell you? It doesn't work? Okay, it doesn't work. If they knew it worked, why would they care? But the fact is, they know it doesn't work, and they've seen it doesn't work. So that's why they don't want people talking to people like me. And it proves it doesn't work. If it worked, they wouldn't care. So Kelly BC says, hey, 49ers. Hi, 49ers for life. Good to see you. Damn it, Sophie. Hot to look up a word, bow. I lost that one, Rib Guy. Oh, got. Okay, hot. Oh, got to look up the word bow. Like a bow of the ship? Sophie, I think Scientology is just as bad, but the internet keeps them in check. 49ers for life. I can't say that. I don't think they're as bad. I really don't. I mean, they are as bad. You're right. They are as bad because they're still ripping people off. They're still breaking up families, and they're still stopping free speech and medical abuse and fraud. So they're doing all the shit that they've always done. But the difference is people now can go on the internet and find, both sides. So, that's outrageously great. because people can read and listen to videos and hear people who did it, like me. I was in it 30 years. I believe them. They're good at what they do. They can get people in, but can they keep them in? No, they can't anymore because of the internet. And that's why they won't allow their people to be on the internet. And you can go to Facebook and type in old Scientology friends and they have you blocked. And that should be enough for them to know, what the hell am I doing? International Justice Chief, aka Big Mike, yeah, who's refused to call me or talk to me ever in 24 years. Powerless to paralyze. All right. And Sophie says, totally agree with 49ers for life. Where she said, I think Scientology is just as bad. Yeah, I think you're right, but the internet keeps them in check. I think you're right. I think that it is just as bad, but because of the internet, that's the difference. I mean, I know the difference from being out on the street. And when I first left, and, from probably 2000 to 2000, I'd say probably 2010, or even, it might even be longer. But, I'd be out on the street and people would be pissed off that I was protesting. And they'd be like, they have a right to their religion. And the angry gay pope was there one time yelling into the testing center, just screaming his lungs out. And this lady came over and was really bawling me out. And I said, do you think I'm with him? And she said, yes. And I said, no, I'm not. 100% I'm not. I agree with you. I don't like that. I don't like yelling. I don't. But they break up families. They stop free speech. I rattled off all the major abuses. And I said, if you're for those, let me know and I won't waste any more oxygen. And she goes, no, I'm not for those. And I said, exactly. So we're on the same page. I'm just trying to make sure people like you don't get into it, because that's what they do. They come and get people like you that are good people into their cult. And that's what happens. So anyway, it worked. I talked to a Scientologist, LOL. I was outside the Valley, Oregon, North Hollywood, and I chickened out and just asked the Scientologist if they like the weather. 49ers for life. I had no idea you lived here. We got to get together. Period. I told you that, I think, before, and you never sent anything. Remember, my email is, I'm going to show it to you again. There. That's my email. It's my name, Tory, Tory, Chrisman44 at gmail.com. There you go. And the other one is you can text me at this number. So make sure, and both of those are on underneath Tory Magoo 44. They're both on the screen. So if you forget them, you can go there. But we should get together. You live here. Another epic failure for this cult. Exactly. You're so cool. Hi, Harry's. Nimbus 2000. Wow. Yeah, I'll message you, Tori. I think that would be great. I do too. We would have a good time. We can go at least for lunch or dinner or something like that. And then, God knows what we'll do. I'll take you on the Magoo tour. I have a little tour that I take people on. You probably know it, but anyway, we can have some fun. Do you know about the barbed wire behind Author Services? Have you seen that? Oh, it's frightening to see. It really is. So please message me. Thank you, Sophie, for putting that there. That's good. Well, so if people try to bully you, number one thing is just keep continuing with your life, because the only way they have any power is if you give it to them. If you don't, they have no power. That's just the way it is. And then that's not going to, if they continue and you've tried to live your life and they still keep bugging you, do the thing about report it to the police and report every time it happens, right? And if they, just each thing, get your neighbors watching your house so you've got some support. And everybody supported me. Everybody. As soon as they found out about it, they were like I used to have these parties, and this was years ago, in 2000 to 2014, I had these parties because I lost all my friends. So I started having these parties with people I knew from, critics and ex-Scientologists, mostly ex-Scientologists to start with, but then more and more people started coming. And so I got my friend Derek, who lived next door at the time, and I said, Derek, look, if anything weird happens, come let me know. And he goes, every party, front door, he'd be knocking on the front door and I'd open it up. I go, what's up? And he'd go, they're out here taking the license plate numbers. And we'd all fly out the door and we'd go right down, we'd follow them and they'd just scramble. They were chicken shits. It was very funny. All right, 49ers fan, you should. If I was there, I'd be hanging out with Tori all the time. She's exactly the same as on here in real life. This is me. That's true. Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be really fun. And JB808, you should come over here. Come over and visit. Yeah, that'd be fun. You can have a big picket. See, that's what I want to have. After going and seeing the billboards, someone came up with that idea last night where we should do a, what did they call it? Where a scavenger hunt. We should do a scavenger hunt with the billboards, right? And so I thought we could get different teams and team up and start it L. Ron Hubbard way. So it'd be really funny. And then go. And then, everybody scrambles around LA. They're hard to find. So, it'd be fun to do. And then whoever wins gets, something, a prize, something like that. And then we could do a protest, which would be fun too. So anyway, you guys should think about it because you should come. Powerlized to paralyzed. I love how the camera zooms in. I know, isn't that funny? It is. This is my new laptop that a bunch of people chipped in and bought from me. Thank you. But it is weird the way it does. It has certain things. Like, see, if I lean back, then there's more light, right? See, look, there's my room. But see how it just does that? I'm not doing anything except I leaned back. If I lean forward, but at least we don't have the circle anymore. That we got rid of. I think Dylan helped me get rid of that. I think. I sent you an email. Okay, thank you, Kelly. I'll look for it. Now, tell me this, because if it doesn't say Kelly, you have to put YT, so I know that it's from YouTube, and then I'll look on it. Because otherwise, a lot of people send me, online here, they're like Kelly, and then they send me an email, Frank Smith, and I'm like, I don't know who that is. And I have thousands of emails that I haven't opened. So believe me, you have to pay attention on that one. True evil hides itself through lies and viciousness. Yep. JB808, I have a plan, a trip. All right. Good, JB808. That's very good. Okay. Thanks, Kelly. I'll check now. Ooh. Speedier than I am. But I can't really do this and check the email. I can't. It would be like a mad, mad world movie. I know it would. You're thinking about the scavenger hunt. Wouldn't that be fun? I just think it'd be very fun. When you saw if you watch the video from yesterday, you'll get a picture. And then you can watch Laura FM and Dan Walks LA, and they did the night before. They actually got out and took selfies and all kinds of stuff. We didn't do that because it was kind of later at night, and we wanted to see if we could get around to some before dinner time. And it was crowded and stuff like that. So we didn't really get out. Yeah, but you should, JB808. I think so. It would be. That's what she said. Do you think the Sea Org members are limited by what they can see on their phones and computers. Oh, yeah. I'm not technically savvy, so I'm not sure how to accomplish that. Me neither, but I know they are because they had that for years, where they have it basically blocked. They had the net nanny, right, when I was in, and that was ridiculous. But Yachty took the net nanny off of my computer, and so but I was still too chicken to read because they build in all this stuff about how horrible everybody is online. It's unbelievable. And Yachty, you are a rat. You told me you would never disconnect from me, and you immediately disconnected from me. Epic fail. Okay, now. So yeah, I do think they're limited. And the other thing is they're limited in their own minds, because even if they do have access to it, they won't. The vast majority. I mean, think about it. If they did, they'd leave. I mean, my ex-husband is in, but he was born in it. And so he remarried a Sea Org member, which he didn't like Sea Org members, and he hated Regs, and he married an ex-Sea Org Reg. Go figure. Sophie, do you have any plans to visit again in the near future, 2005, 2006? That'd be good. Scavenger hunts on a tour bus. Yeah, that was the thing someone mentioned, having a tour bus for the billboards, but it wouldn't be a scavenger hunt if we're all on the bus together. That would be different. But the bus tour is a good idea. That's a separate thing. The scavenger hunt and protest would be one thing. The bus tour would be another thing, where we can just all be on the bus and go around and see them all. That'd be fun too. JB808, I want to come back as soon as possible, but my finances don't allow me to. I'll probably be back next year. Okay. I have other friends over there as well. See, she's fickle. She has other friends, and men love it. I'm just teasing you, Sophie. Of course you do. Alligators, exactly. Only not just Scientologists, but in the real world too. Ooh, there you go. Alligators. We have to make a fund to make sure that Sophie comes here minimum twice a year. Wow. All right. I own a bus? You do? Cult of Scientology. Wow, you could do it. We could go in your bus. That would be really fun. Where do you live? Cult of Scientology. And David, hi Tori, hi friends. I have some friends that are trapped in the cult. Me too. What's the best thing I can do to encourage them to turn their critical thinking back on? It's tricky. Have you read any of Steve Hassan's books? Because those are really good. He has some good ideas in it. Mine is to basically start with free communication. Do they believe in free speech? And they'll say yes. And then you can say, okay, if they're friends of yours, are you still in touch with them? Can they come over? Because then you could show them a video. Find one that you think they'd like. It's tricky, though. It is. Alligators, I know I love America. I don't care what anyone says or who's in government. Thank you, Sophie. We who are Americans feel the same way. The ones that are on the side of that guy in the White House, no, different thing. JB808, Sophie, I hear ya, and the same. Yeah, I think 2025 would be unrealistic for me, but I hope 2026 is in the cards for me. Well, there you go. 2026, that's only a blink away. So you should start planning it now. David, good question. Yeah, I know. People ask me that all the time. What should I say to get them out? And, it's like if we... I forgot my magic wand. Damn. No, it's difficult. It is. If they're really your friends, you can say, look, you're my friend. Do do you respect do you respect me? Do you respect what I think? And see what they say. If they say no, well, that's not going to work. But if they say, yeah, sure, of course I do. And say, okay, I have something that's very important. I want you to read or look at or listen to, one or the other, whatever you think. And then ask them to either read a book or read a website or look at a video. Oh, wait, Cult of Scientology, Bullhead City, Arizona. Oh, man, that's far away. Wow, I could have stopped by to see you. All right, oh, wait, let's see. Where are you? Where'd he go? I own a bus. Okay, there he is. Ooh, there went my light. I haven't gotten any email yet, but I'll keep checking. Me neither. All right, Bullhead City, Arizona area, but we'll be relocating to Ridgecrest, California soon. I don't know where Ridgecrest is, but that sounds good. Let me check with Mrs. Google. We'll see how far it is. Ooh, nope, wrong one. How far away is Ridgecrest, California from here?
The drive from your location to Ridgecrest is 145.2 miles.
Not bad. 2 hours. 2 hours and 31 minutes. It's 145 miles. That's not bad. You could definitely get together. So that's good. JB808, that sounds good. Maybe we can go the same time. Yeah, exactly. We can get a little group coming together. I like that. Kelly says, oh, I hope I got the right email. JB, is it Gmail? Sophie, that would be awesome. Alligator says, absolutely everyone, everywhere. The worst that I saw after high school was in office space. People are sneaky. Comment from Sophie. I think it's a process of waking up and they have to be open to hearing it. Yeah. But you can plant little seeds. See, that's the thing, because they're never going to just hear it and, go to xenu.net and do that. That's not going to happen. But you can just plant little seeds. That's what I'm saying. Like, do you respect me? Do you believe in free speech? What do you think about someone where they break up families? I would ask them that if it was a friend of mine. How do you feel about that? Do you know that in the Church of Scientology, that's one of the things that happens when people are declared suppressive? I mean, do you understand that? I mean, I think it's how you ask it. You know what I mean? But if you say, like, I used to go to get jobs, and the first thing I would say is, can I ask you a question before we get started? And they go, yeah, sure. And I'd say, do you believe in free speech? And they'd say, oh, definitely. And I'd say, okay, good. Then we're on the same page. Because I knew they would search my name and find out I'm a big activist against Scientology. But as long as I clarified the thing about free speech, what are they going to say? Oh, you can't do that? Anyway, I always got jobs. It worked out great. And aloha and your username? Okay. David, my advice would be to just plant seeds of doubt and hope they grow. Yeah, I agree. The same thing. Eric, question. What's the best thing to do with Scientologists that have tactics to bully never-ends that aren't in Scientology? Just walk away from them. Say, you know what? You're not applying your religion. That's what I would say. I would look at them right in the face and say, you know what? You're not applying your religion. So I'm out of here and walk away. That's it. You don't need that, Eric. You don't need to talk to anyone like that. You don't need to take shit from that. And that's true for anybody. But you can say that to them. Just, put it right back at them. You're not applying Scientology at all. That isn't Scientology. And they can keep and say, that isn't Scientology. It isn't. Yeah, I went to LA all the time. Good. Cult of Scientology. And David says, thank you, Sophie. I always forget how massive America is. I look at the map and think, okay, that doesn't look for a minute. It's a 7-hour drive. Oh, it's way more. It's a 7-hour drive across Texas. I think it took me 3 days to hitchhike from Chicago, which is in the middle of America, to LA. It took 3 days. JB808, I've always wanted to go to one of the popular Korean barbecue sports. And oh yeah, they're so good. We go to them. They're delicious. They have one of the Scientology billboards is in K-Town. Yeah. I think we found it yesterday. Alligators. Sophie, if you ever come to Canada, Quebec, you have a tourist guide for life. Lovely. Aw, that's nice. And Rockstar Grand. How far from you is Irvine? I think you mean Irvine, right? I've been thinking about visiting my friend who lives in Irvine and would love to come protest or something with you. Yeah, I don't think it's too far at all. I'll check. Let me check with Mrs. Google. How far away is Irvine from here?
The drive from your location to Irvine is 50.4 miles.
54 miles. It's 51 minutes. Cinch. Okay, so anyway, yeah, Rocks, let me know if you come. Alligators, thanks. And the offer stands if you come down here to New Zealand. And same here to all of you. If you come here, I would love to see any one of you. I love to meet people. It's one of my things. I like meeting people. I do. All right. Well, anyway, kids, it's almost an hour and a half. So does anyone have a question before we say goodnight? And Wednesday, just so you know, is the Q&A with Dylan. So please don't miss that because that'll be good. And you can think of any questions you want to ask him. And, he was in the Sea Org and he was way at the top of the triangle and at CST, which is the Church of Scientology International, I think. I think he was CST. Anyway, Dylan Gill, that's who it is. And he's going to be here Wednesday for Q&A. So I hope you all come back and have fun. Me and Tori are the closest. We both live in California. I'm in Culver City and you're in Burbank. That's right. That is very true. Van Cool, where were you? Auckland? I don't know who Van is. Oh, Van. Okay, there you go. Hi. Tales of a Hyperkinetic Life. Oh, yeah. I loved working in New Zealand. Oh, that's so great. You got to. I've always wanted to go to New Zealand and Australia, both of those. And Hawaii. I do. I like going to Alba. I love going to Canada. Canada's lovely. It's a wonderful country. All right. Well, do any of you have a question before I say goodnight? And please come Wednesday. And JB808, thank you again for being so generous. That was very sweet of you. You surprised me. And now it's fun. I like getting surprised. Dylan and Tori is great. I'll be here. Okay, good. 8 o'clock. All right. We're pretty nice people too. You guys are. You all are nice people. Everyone. I mean, I love you guys. I really do. Each one of you. You're all special in your own way. And it's it's a really good thing. It is. I feel really lucky to know you. Would be amazing guest on your live. JB808. Yeah. Do you want to do a live thing, JB808? Aw. You're international. Do you want to do a thing where we do, we can't this week because I'm doing tonight and then Wednesday night I'm doing Dylan, but we could do next week if you want. Send me a thing if you want to. I don't want to pressure you, but let me know if you want to. That would be fun. It'd be really fun to interview you. But if you don't want to, don't feel like you have to. Because I know some people like to, some people don't. And I understand. All right. Well, anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for coming. And I will see you Wednesday night. And in the meantime, Eric says, JB, no problem. And no, you'll be an amazing guest. But Eric, but I'm a snooze fest? What does that mean? You're a snooze fest. You can come on and snooze. That's okay. And I'll go, wake up. Good night, everyone. Good night, Kelly. Thank you, Sophie, for being our moderator. Thank you, each of you, for coming on. I really appreciate it. And I love you guys, and have a wonderful rest of the night and Tuesday and Wednesday. And I'll see you Wednesday night. All right. Peace out.